All right, everybody, welcome back. Thank you for your patience. We needed our stretch break. We needed to get it out there, do our self-care, get our drinks, get our popcorn. Omen important. Omen important. Welcome. We have just gotten Omen important, and I just got to reread what that has, what I have to do for that. Introduces a supernatural warning, vision, or sign of looming danger. We kind of just did that, but I can add another one. As you're somewhere deeper in the gauntlet, you feel it. A presence of the triad, fractured and festering beneath the skin of the world. And speaking of that skin of the world, as you're wandering through this timescape, this time hellscape, the sky splits for a second. It opens. And you see a vision of yourselves locked in combat with a massive metallic spider made of gears. One head crested with a three-headed snake, one head crested with a skull with a decaying jaw, another made of complete perfect crystal, and a third made up of fungal growths erupting wildly in succession. As the three
in the sky?
In this, you see this in the sky. You see, yes.
Not in a vision, like physically.
Physically in the sky. You see three of you laying dead. Floating in the air, laying dead. Orion, Orin, and Morwin. Well, they're still come to the rooms. The other four of you fighting for your lives against this creature. The vision lasts for nearly 10 seconds. And then with a lightning crack, with a lightning starts from the ground and reaches toward the sky, the vision is gone.
An unbalanced triadic spirit. Wonderful.
A sudden gust of wind cuts across the prairie, impossibly cold and laced with laughter. A stuttering cackle spiraling backward into your ears. You hear it before you see it. A wind shape darting through the tall grass, kicking up reversed bird calls and broken songs. Rattlesong, a wild spirit, all shiver and shimmer, dances on the edge of hearing. Its form is blurred wind and flickering teeth, singing in a riddle reverse. Rossi daret det, wonk you flip semet tap et nurak dak. It wants to be chased, and it wants you to listen, and it wisps around Shadowheart and bolts in another opposite direction, seemingly trying to be chased.
All right, Missy Elliott.
How many times did you spend by that, Morgan? You said you redeemed it 4 times.
What? I only see it once in the
I
chat.
only see it the once myself, too.
I only see it one time.
All
I
right.
am on my end.
Weird. Okay.
So the creature spoke in reverse and
And
wanted us to chase it.
yes.
It flipped it and reversed it, just like Missy Elliott.
It did, and it indicates to me that we maybe don't follow it and proceed in the same direction that we've been going. Just reverse what it asked.
What direction did it go? Opposite of the direction we are trying to head? Back the way we came?
God.
Not back the way you
Off to
came,
the-
off to the side.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Could I attempt a check to try and unreverse that and figure out what it exactly meant when it said that it's riddle?
You
I was
can.
trying while he was saying it.
You may
but
you may attempt to do that. I will. Yes, you may. What would you do? You don't have enigmas. Enigmas is not on this sheet, if I remember correctly. It is not. So why don't we go with a wits plus investigation?
All right, I can work with that. That. Yeah, one too many. That's a critical success.
The one who each time has 3 mouths but only one name.
The one who eats time has 3 mouths but only one name.
They're the reason for this?
trio? Yeah.
For the
That was my
hourglass, dude.
understanding.
Hmm. Well, let's think. One who eats time.
That does sound like the hourglass, dude.
Well, out of character. I recognize the phrase, but I'm pretty sure H.P. Lovecraft hasn't been. No, it's not. Who was it that wrote Haster's stuff? Either way, he probably hasn't been published yet, so Star wouldn't know it. Yeah. So.
I mean, Time Eater could speak of the three as well that got us to sit by a fire for just a bunch of nonsense, which would be the
You know,
trio, wasting our time.
That was still Lovecraft, by the way.
okay, was Haster Lovecraft? I could
Yeah,
never
yeah.
I can never remember. Anyways, as he considers this, well, one that eats time. I suppose that would theoretically refer to the idea of time coming to an end, which would be entropic, and thus more inclined towards worm than all the other three members of the triad. But with the three heads and the image depicted, it definitely appears to be some manner of triadic spirit. Something that embodies order, entropy, and creation. Creation. Creation closely associated with time. Well, I think it might be wise to chase it and see if it to follow it and see if it has any reals. We were told that we must give homage to the three, maybe to the three spirits, and this is clearly a one spirit. It going along with what once
Sure.
seems a reasonable way of paying our respects.
All right, so who's going to chase it? Look at that kitty.
Kitty cat.
I mean, I like a good chase, I guess.
All right. So Shadowheart chases after it. I'll have you roll a wits plus survival because you can't see it. You have to track it by sound alone.
Okay.
This would be easier for Nerdwire, but since he's so angry, he doesn't want to play games with the wild spirit. Like, you see that look at his face. I'm not playing games with the wild spirit.
Yeah, he's still pretty angry.
I don't have time for this shit.
And yet we have to go through it, so here we are.
No places to be.
To be fair, saying we don't have time is something of a odd thing to say given the circumstances.
After a few minutes of chasing, you're chasing a sound. You're not chasing anything you can see, which is odd because it's so bright with the sunlight perpetually in the sky that you can't see this thing. You finally leap through the air and catch it in your mouth. And it looks to you and it says, "The one who eats time has three mouths but only one name. But a child born in flame will tear the hourglass wide. He must be found before the verdant blight wakes fully."
Child born in flame. He must be found before the verdant blight wakes fully. Could you restate that fully so I can write it down on my notes?
Yes, I'll do without any accent as well. "A child born in flame will tear the hourglass wide. He must be found before the verdant blight wakes fully."
Is that before the burdened blight?
Verdant.
Verdant blight.
Verdant.
Verdant is in
V-E-R.
green.
Green blight. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I have absolutely no idea what this thing is talking about.
I thought it was talking about the sun at first, but the verdant.
I didn't follow. I just laid down in the path in my Hispo form.
Okay. So,
He's had enough.
oh, the one who eats time, I miss three mouths but one name. A child born in flame shall tear the hourglass wide. He must be found before the verdant blight wakes fully. I'm gonna just include that in our game notes.
Averted blight means definitely should mean something to the other three.
I just want to point
I
out
wasn't there.
that
It means a lot to me, but I wasn't there to overhear it. I'm
Yep.
still laying in the path.
Go ahead, Cindy.
I just want to point out that I don't know a whole lot of things being so new to all of this and having to take and learn the human stuff, and then like there's all this other stuff, and it's been a lot for me to take in, but I feel like the people that we ran into were manifestations of this. They seem to be the embodiment of each one of these heads and these riddles, whereas I'm not entirely sure I understand the riddles. They seem to speak a different aspect of each one of them. Like this one talking about fire, and that's what the one crazy guy going on about the fire was talking. And it seems to me that maybe we should have gleaned some kind of information from the group of people before we came in here. I'm just saying it does seem connected. What we're going through and those people, they seem to be the same. I don't, like I said when we were there and together, that I wasn't sure that they were even real. Um, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, it might be worth relating the full details of this to the rest of the group if if that verdant blight does mean something to someone else from the future.
Yes. Elwyn would. I recognize that Elwyn knows these kinds of things. And so I tell him the nonsensical riddle, but I'm just saying it all seems to be the same thing.
This is the embodiment of the worm. This is everything that we fought to try to eliminate from Blackwater. This is Mayor Hayes. Tentacle monsters, taking over living things, black ooze. This is destruction incarnate.
Hmm.
Do you think it's the same? The same energy, the same thing?
It's
The-
always
were
the
dealing with?
same. As far as I can tell, it's always the same. Horrible.
The
Remind me, how far in
riddle
the future
even
are you all from?
says the three heads.
It's 1871 right now.
So
Yeah.
400
2025.
or 200.
I see.
The-
Well, let's see.
The
ahead.
riddle says the three heads are the same thing. Those three groups of people, this here, the future, tomato, tomato. It's the same thing.
I look at Ashes and I say, this is their Sister Bill. This is their Jerry Folks. This is their Maria Sanchez. Insert whatever name that you want to. Maybe Vasquez. Can't remember. There were two Marias. It's been a while.
Right. You're saying it's theirs. It's not ours. That's
It's
what I was
just as
asking.
much ours, though. We're here. We're here now.
Yeah.
If we don't do something about it here, I'm still so angry.
Right.
But we don't know that's how it works.
We're just going to have to backtrack everything that we just did.
How do you mean?
Right.
Do we just go back and confront them? Pop some heads?
I
Right.
I don't know how real they are.
I think we press on. But
Before
Wandering Star
we take
should know.
before we take any rash action, it might be worth explaining what exactly you mean by your. I gather from your description that you have that this is that you possibly believe you are encountering a enemy spirit of some description, which existed in your time, and you believe presently exists now, and you think that potentially destroying it now may alter your future, if I understand this correctly.
I'm
you're
afraid
very
if
close.
not destroyed now, it may alter your past.
Fighting averted blight upon what we thought was killing it is the very instant we were brought here.
Our past, your present is really what I mean. All this timey-wimey stuff is just, it's hard to keep straight.
It is.
So
and
do
we
you
don't
think it is
understand
not
fully
so much
either.
that you are going to eliminate this thing before it becomes a problem?
If it works like that.
So you think you will either eliminate it before it becomes a problem, or alternatively, it has been sent back with you and may soon become a problem before my time.
I believe it.
I believe the latter, personally.
If I'm, Elwin stammers over his words just a little bit because he's still frustrated because he thought he and the pack could accomplish something in the future. In our present.
We may have.
But I am afraid that this is the same thing that we were fighting, just cast back with us.
That's what I'm asking, yes. If it's not the same thing cast back with us, then...
if we don't destroy it here, this can be a problem for Star's present.
Possibly.
And we know it. We understand it. We fought it. We lived it. I don't want to leave them alone with this problem and just go back to Blackwater.
Your concern is appreciated. However, let us take a moment and not act out of either fear or rage. Firstly, let us consider the possibility that it is the same entity which you defeated cast backwards in time. As it has been bloodied by you, it will be significantly easier to defeat once we can locate it. Moreover, we are not necessarily alone.
Let me interrupt you and make myself entirely clear. We defeated their vessels.
So you have not defeated the spirit itself.
Correct.
Then it seems likely that if it were cast back, it would be looking for a way to manifest itself again.
Yes.
Yeah, in which case we will need to identify where, and strike it. The alternative, if it is something which is yet nascent in my timeline, it will be significantly easier for you to destroy now, before it has had time to grow in power over the intervening centuries. Yes. So, however, in either case, it is something you have beaten before, and which you can beat again, and one which, if it is as dangerous as you suggest, yes, we may yet be able to bring the full bear of the Garu nation down upon. on. Now, let us consider this as other concept, the child born in flames. Does this mean anything to any of you?
Heard about this comic book store owner that burned up in his own store.
I'm thinking of this priest that used to tear his clothes off and light them on fire and shoot them on the ends of arrows. That was like first session. The first thing you did. Little just starting TTRPGs, Nerdwire lights a shirt on fire and shoots a guy. It's a child born to fire. It's the prophecy.
I reiterate what I had previously said. The guy or whatever
The three people?
was, yes. These are the
thinking the
kinds of
child.
things that they were talking about. He was a child of fire. They were, of the moon and whatever the heck the other person said. And
Weaver, worm.
And then
Yeah.
now these riddles are talking about these same things, and it's a three-headed snake. I'm telling you, I'm not sure that they were real. And these riddles are just talking the same things that they were saying.
It is quite possible that they were not material or purely material. Ariel, regarding the matter of this, but if this child of fire is not something from your time, there is something which may have occurred relatively recently in my time, which would apply that. It was approximately 8 years ago, during the war between the Americans, and where they were fighting one another. That one of the generals of the North made a trail of fire burning his way across the South. His name was, what was it? Tecumseh Sherman, I believe. A child born in the fires of that would be about 8 years old now, if it exists. If this is a child born, that seems the most probable reason for a child born in fire to be emerging in my timeline, or at my point in the timeline, rather, which a child potentially traumatized by such actions could be a viable vessel to be targeted by this creature as a vessel, though for what purpose I cannot tell.
I personally believe them to be vessels.
A bird flaps backwards by you.
Regardless of the matter, at the moment, we won't accomplish much by standing here in this distorted time frame. We should either alternatively seek a path out of it, or alternatively determine if it is, or alternatively take a peek on the other side of the Umbra to determine if this is simply normal spiritual behavior that simply seems strange to us, or if there's actually something wrong here that we need to fix.
How thin is the veil, God? How difficult is it to open?
What gauntlet?
It was really thin
The
earlier.
gauntlet.
What gauntlet?
Right. We're currently in the Umbra.
I was gonna say
We are
we're in
in
aren't
the
we?
Umbra.
Yeah.
You are in the Umbra and the physical world at the same time.
I see.
Okay.
So the gauntlet is non-existent.
The gauntlet is currently non-existent for where you are.
Well, then I shouldn't need any check to. Would activating penumbral senses to take a look on to what's on the other side? I'd even require a roll then.
Nope, because you're just looking around you.
We're just living.
Okay, so there's no benefit to it either.
There's no benefit to it either, no.
Well then, as we presently exist in this interesting liminal space, I suppose the only way out is most likely through. So if patterns hold, I strongly suspect we're about to. If we keep this up, we're going to run into one of the other two triadic spirits. As we carry on our way.
I think we can expect exactly as much.
So,
You don't believe all three of them to be the triad of spirits?
I mean more in the sense that we're likely to encounter a weaver spirit and a worm spirit.
It's like a
Here
trial.
yet.
The actual spirit, not the vessels, or like actual just weaver spirits. I'm asking for clarity,
Well,
Star.
We just encountered a wild spirit, so
Right.
I'm expecting to encounter. So I figure, given we're dealing with a triadic spirit at the heart of this, we're probably going to encounter a weaver spirit and a worm spirit. Here
Hard
yet.
to say how they're
Ashley,
going
do you want to move?
present themselves. I think we should keep moving forward. Yes.
From behind a twisted cottonwood tree, something without features steps forward. A silhouette where light should be. It casts no shadow because it is the shadow. It walks like a man, but its limbs jitter as though skipping frames in a broken film. Wherever it steps, the grass darkens and curls inward. It turns its head, blank and smooth, towards you and whispers directly into your bones. The hour belongs to no one. You are trespassers in stillness. The sun's shadow simply watches and waits. It does nothing more than just sit there, and it says what it says. It just stands there and just points. Just pointing at you silently, like a monkey.
Can you banish this?
I could,
Say
but I'm
Star.
not sure that would. Potentially, I'm not sure that's the correct response here. Yeah, yet. And also, given we're already midway into the Umbra, it would be at best a temporary solution. For now, I propose that we move as carefully and quietly as we can, and to get out of here. After all, it considers us trespassers, and so leaving seems like the most viable reason to avoid causing conflict.
I begin walking.
All right. So who's leading the way? Are you guys walking in a single file? How are you moving about the prairie?
I guess given this is pseudo Umbra, the Theurge should probably take point.
Just maintain point. You've been in the front so far, right?
Yes.
All right, Wandering Star. Go ahead, Tiddly. What were you about to say?
I was gonna say that I'm walking with Moon Petal.
Because Moon
feeling
Petal
that-
is right there with you, right next to you.
I'm just sticking with her. I feel a little frustrated, a little sad, so I'm just walking with Moon Petal.
All right, frustrated and sad. We've got very angry. We've got resigned, and we've got, oh my god, the world is ending around me. What the fuck is going on? All right. So, Wandering Star, you're going first. I would need you to make a dexterity plus athletics check for me, please.
Well, that's not going to go well.
Hey,
2 successes.
Okay.
did it go well enough?
Did not go well enough. Unfortunately, no, it did not. All right, I need the next 2 to make a dexterity plus athletics check for me.
Totally not gonna go well. No matter what I roll. Oh no!
Oh, that's even worse.
Oh wait, I forgot our rage went down 1, right? Yeah, because of the song.
Yep.
Can I reroll one of
Your
the
rage
threads?
went down.
You
one.
can re-roll that if you want to. I wouldn't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that's fair, I suppose.
Dex plus athletics, Tindy?
Hey,
All right. So nothing happens to Shadowheart and to Song of Ashes, but Elwyn and Walking Star trip, and you fall into a causal loop, and you begin reliving the same 5 seconds over and over and over again.
we're aware that it's a loop.
Yeah, how do we perceive that? The ones that got through.
The ones who got through are the only ones who technically perceive it. You see them, they step, they stop, they reverse, and then they do the exact same action again. And then they stop, they reverse, and they do the exact same action again. They say what's the last thing you said?
Yeah.
Can you banish
proceeds
this?
Can you banish?
Can you banish this? Can you
Yes,
banish
but-
this?
Yes, but
Can you banish this?
yes, but
Over and over again. You don't need to roleplay it though, but that was great. I did like that little improvisation
that was
right there. What do the two of you do when you see this?
I'm just gonna observe for a few, and of course ask Shadowheart if she has any ideas on how we can help break them from the loop. I don't know
Mm,
a lot about anything that's happening currently.
I mean, Shadowheart is still struggling to pick up the concept of time, and she's time traveling. Um, can we try to physically move them?
Just push them forward, get them
Yeah,
out
like
of the loop.
can yeah, like
Kick him.
yeah, definitely kicking.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Absolutely, go for it. You may attempt to kick them. Give me a dexterity plus strength plus brawl check.
Y'all are in
All
trouble,
three?
man. Strength plus brawl these days.
Yes.
And dexterity. He said. All
No,
three?
no. Strength plus brawl. Just strength
Oh,
plus brawl.
okay. I was like, all three? I've never done this check before.
you're about to get moved.
Incoming, and this doesn't even include my dice for biting. So
Well, we don't have to bite him yet. Let's just try moving him.
All right, you kick them and you push them forward, but they slide like frictionless, 15 feet. But they continue to keep doing the same thing.
Can you banish this?
yes, but
The prairie stillness breaks, so when you kick regularly, when you kick him, and suddenly the ground below shimmers with the shifting grids. Blades of grass glint metallic, snapping into hexagonal tessellations. Beneath your boots and feet, invisible threads catch around the ankles and wrists, tightening with each repeated movement. The unseen reft reveals itself only in failure. It hates chaos, hungers for patterns, and attempts to loop your behavior into a recursive trap. This is an octagon-shaped polyhedron that exists and keeps changing forms into different polyhedrons of different sides, of all sorts of different shapes. It just continues to shift and solidify for a second and shift into another. It stops and it intones to Wildwood. These are mine now. Cannot have them.
Unfortunately, I can't let you keep them. The packmates of mine.
What will you give me
I'm
for
gonna rid
them?
of this. What is it you want?
Order out of chaos.
We're trying to apply order in this chaos. It's fighting us. What exactly do you mean by order?
It swoops down and releases them from the time it says leave. Leave this place before the third arrives.
how do we get out of here?
Keep going the way you're going.
So it was a manifestation of the three that we met, and the three-headed snake.
regardless, regardless. Now is not the time for discussion. Now is the time to obey. And as she says, as she just grabs him by the collar, it's like, right, moving.
You guys
Can you
are,
banish this? Were we released? I'm lost. Hold on. Wait,
yes,
what?
you were
Yeah,
released. You were
Just
released.
released.
He pretty much chunked you out of his house and told you to pound sand.
Yes, and I am
I
attempting
got
to
no
pound
problems with
sand.
that. I've got no problems to do that.
That's what we've been doing. We can continue on.
I don't know.
I
took a
thought that
nap
they
in the
wanted
street
us to
earlier.
meet all three, though. I now get the feeling that the hourglass and time itself isn't working alongside these three, though. If it doesn't want us to encounter the third, I thought this was all a 4-point trial. Four entities working together, but 4 entities with the 2 different groups.
I
As
take
you,
off running.
you take off running, everyone takes off
Yeah.
running.
Yeah.
You find
Yeah,
yourself
I'm gonna
running in
shift
place.
Lupus running.
Yes.
I'm in Hispo still. Still.
Right. So we can. Right. So let's the. Right. Right. We need to find a way to slip out of this time loop, in order to move. In order to get out of here. Is the entity?
The
is
entity
time
the entity folds in on itself back to its original shape it was, and now forms into the shape of a pyramid with arms and legs.
It's Bill Cipher.
Looks a little bit like Bill Cipher. I am inspired, but it's not Bill Cipher. But there it is. Eyes and arms and legs, no eye, just a pyramid. What is it you want?
We are attempting to leave as per your request.
That was not my request. That was my past request. I am the president.
To leave.
You're attempting to leave. Have you met your third? No.
Technically speaking, yes. You are the third.
I am the second.
Strictly. I'm not going to rules lawyer my way out of this, am I?
You can attempt to roll yourself out of this if you like.
I'm.
You got here a little
what am I
late.
going-
Ghost of present.
What am I? I'm trying to figure out what exactly I used to get. Who was to convince a being of the
Subterfuge manipulation?
Actually, I have a hilarious thought. Can I use academics manipulation to attempt to use postmodern philosophy to convince it that the past and present do not exist?
I don't think postmodern philosophy exist on the level you would be able to discuss it with an entity of the Weaver.
This
On whose end?
This is fair. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's 1870. No, he probably hasn't encountered it. He's a Jesuit, so it's unlikely he's encountered Descartes yet.
Not yet.
Need to check my history.
You need to meet the second, which is me. The second is me. You must meet me. You must find order in the chaos before I'll let you be. Before I'll let you free, you'll find order in the chaos, and then you'll have met me. Then you'll go on to 3.
Order in the chaos. I would like to attempt to analyze the chaotic time around us to see if I can determine some order in the midst of this chaos.
All right. You're going to analyze, so you give me a wits plus awareness check.
Fair enough. That's 5 dice. I think I'm going to willpower point to roll those 2.
Yep.
Since I've got quite a bit of willpower.
You got 3 successes. You're fine.
Yeah, that gets me.
Yep, that's success. That's you meet the margin of success. You notice that the only order in time is that things seem to be movement seems to be forward in time for you, but for everything else, everything seems to be moving backwards in time. So your movements are a split second ahead of time. Everything else is moving backwards in time. And if they got synced, maybe you would find order there.
I see. We must synchronize forwards and backwards movements. At least I think that's what we need to do. We must find the point where these will move in the correct way. So he will attempt to imitate that rhythm of moving forwards and backwards. Backwards with a slight with the idea of imitating that exact pattern.
All right, so you're imitating using body language. You're doing you're interpretive. You're being very interpretive in your body language, trying to. This is what I've been getting. Trying to mimic what you're seeing. To give me a dexterity plus athletics check to represent your interpretive movement.
Yeah,
Can I
it's not
join
that
in
I'm
on that?
necessarily trying to.
You want to get in on that?
I'm
That's
trying to
what I was
just
thinking
move
too, to be
forward and backwards in the matter in the same to replicate the pattern.
I was thinking the same thing myself.
That's a success. I don't think that's enough.
2 successes is what you needed. And you managed to get
Did I get into the zone then?
You get into the zone, and you manage to step out of the running loop. And time begins to solidify around you a little bit, just in your immediate vicinity. The snow stops falling up. There is no snow. The light begins to move. Your shadow's on time. But just around you. Not around you, Bard.
All right. Can I, seeing that, do I observe that he's that time is working better around him?
Yes.
Is that something I can see?
Yes, you have the right idea. You just didn't have the proper execution.
Could I take a moment and determine to do it through just essentially blunt, just like, well, I'm going to continue practicing this until I get it right. So rather than using my dexterity, I'm using resolve to basically.
There is no now that you've got it down, now that everyone's seen it, there's nothing keeping you from doing it till you get it right. You don't need to make a roll.
Excellent. Then I will do so.
I think we'll.
And as each of you does so, time around you begins to solidify. Things begin working correctly. The thing shifts its form again, no longer a Bill Cipher inspired pyramid with arms and legs, but more of just a square, a cube. And he goes, you have brought order to chaos. You have moved in synchronicity with the time. You'll meet the third. You'll make a bargain. Be careful what you agree to. It will take its cost. And it disappears, folds in on itself and disappears.
Well, that's 2, guys.
Yes. Well, let's keep going.
I agree. The third sounds like it's going to be the worst.
Almost certainly.
Does anyone have any idea which one remains? Did they feel like they have an idea of which ones we've interacted with so far?
Most likely. Well, that was almost certainly a Weaver. Weaver we've met wild, so what remains is Worm.
Worm.
Fair. So it really will be the worst.
Yes, almost certainly.
Yeah.
But the only way out is through.
Agreed. We've made it this far.
You crest a low ridge, and you find him there, half buried in the grass, like a memory long discarded. A half unraveled skeleton stitched with strands of fate, creating a rusted pocket watch that ticks louder than it should. Ghost Bones, the scavenger spirit of forgotten fates, cocks its skull towards you with a sickly creak. Trade me what was precious, and I'll show you what is to come, or what never was. His voice sounds like dry leaves turning pages, and every movement rattles with the weight of lives that never happened, as it steps out and kind of pulls itself out of the grass and dirt up to its full length of 6 feet 7 inches tall of skeleton.
What if I'm not interested in fate?
You're not interested in fate? Everything has a fate. Everything ends in entropy. Of course you're interested.
I don't care about what's to come. I care about getting us out of here.
Well, that is what's to come, getting you out of here. That is fate. It would roll its eyes if it had eyes in its socket.
I honestly think I saw it roll its eyes.
Regardless, you say that you will ask of what is precious.
Trade me what was precious, and I will show you what is to come.
I don't have the One Ring.
What? I fail to see how a I mean, yeah, and I suppose a wedding ring would be precious, but I didn't. But I don't exactly you. But I didn't exactly have one when I was married. Married, but I think. Assuming the One Ring comment was out loud.
Oh no, my character wouldn't know anything at all about the One Ring, but
Fair enough.
Give me what was precious, and I shall give you a sign.
I had love.
He kind of puts his hands together. Yes, tell me more. As it kind of creeps in on you. Slack jawed a little.
I'm gonna lean in as well.
In my time, I had a woman. It was the most important thing in the world to me. We shared a life. We shared love. We shared joy. We shared pain. We shared sorrow. We shared our loneliness, but we did it all together. Until I couldn't anymore. Her name was Amelia. Is Amelia. She was the most important thing in my life. And now we're enemies.
This Amelia was precious to you?
More than I could ever say.
You make this trade?
With that,
It
one shatters a little bit. Yes.
Very well. It reaches over, and its bony fingers reaches over and it pulls something from you. A silver strand as it's pulling it out. And its other hand, scissors materialize. And it cuts the strand, and you hear a cry. Anguish. As if life was being cut somewhere in the future. And the wisp of fate just sort of dissipates. Take a dot of
Do I go on to
Hirano.
live with this?
Take a dot of Hirano. As your touchstone just died. Now for my part of the bargain. He puts his hand out, and you see an image, and it solidifies into a smooth stone. This will get you back to where you need to go. It's a path stone. Take it. Connect to the next moon bridge. You have given up something great for this. You do not even realize yet.
I reach my hand out. And I take it.
It's smooth and warm to the touch, much like the one that you felt at the start of the Red Butte.
And as I do that, there's a tear that comes down my face. And I feel my chest is just filled with pressure. I'm having a difficult time breathing. But what I'm holding, I know is better for the family that I have now than the family I had then.
But we're not done just yet. As you're having these feelings, an image appears next to Ghost Bones. It's an image of Amelia. Pain etched on her face. Carved there for eternity in an echo of a scream. Painful echo as you see a shot, a bullet hole, right between her eyes. It could only have been made by one person. And then she begins to vanish as she's pulled down. His hands grasp up and reach and yank her down. Does anyone else wish to make a deal?
I'm shaking my head no, hoping that people see, but I'm not making eye contact with the rest of the pack.
Is another deal required?
There's always reason for a deal. There's always something you desire. There's
It's not
always
about what we desire. It's about what we only need.
Hmm.
It appears that you take a lot for this exchange. I don't know if it's equivalent.
It isn't. And Star says as he steps forward, I permitted this because you are necessary, but you are necessary no longer. So, and he strikes his staff into the ground and thunder rumbles. Get thee behind me. And out of my pack's way. You have taken enough.
Or are you rolling? You going to banish?
This isn't a banishment yet. This is just simply a statement that if he does not, that if it sticks around longer than it is allowed, he will banish it. He's giving it a chance to leave on its own.
It steps back. It doesn't seem very intimidated, but it steps back. It seems to get your message.
Odds. We have met the three. Go. Now we go.
Yeah, I suggest we move on. No reason to stick around here any longer and deal with this. It's only going to be worse.
What does Elwyn want to do?
Nothing.
Well, hopefully at least follow us. You need to press on. You got us the key. We may have broken something, but we fixed a few things. It's an opportunity.
I loved her.
Star wraps a hand around the younger man's shoulder. Come on. There are good places to mourn, and this is not one of them. But we will mourn.
She was everything.
I know. And
We don't
there
know
are
if it's permanent either.
there are tears in the
If the powers
eyes.
that be could reach forward like that. Maybe when we write this, we can reach backwards.
There.
Let's move.
The older man helps the younger along as they go. And as they pass forwards away from this trial, he sings again. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. And continues through the whole thing, but I don't want to take up too much session with him.
Oh, very good, very good. As you begin walking, you begin to come up to the end of this prairie and to another tree line. As you enter the tree line, the sun finally quickly descends in the west. The moon rises in the east quickly to catch up to where it was before you began this strange journey across the prairie of forgotten time. As you walk through this tree line, the ground around you begins to ripple. Not with motion, but with moments. The wind halts mid-gust. The moonlight fractures like a broken mirror held in place. The cold deepens, not with temperature, but with age. At that, we have to take a 3-minute break because my wife has just called me, guys. I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good.
All right, I'm going to keep the screen up. I'll be right back, guys. I'll run ads.
Do you think?
Well, that was a moment and a half.
Yeah.
I would remind all of you she was going to murder us.
It's true. But that's
Hey, doesn't make it hurt less.
especially for Elwyn.
Thank you, Saki, by the way. Oh, man. I apologize, chat. I apologize. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm surprised it went so like Thanos there with the sacrifice.
I did not expect
I wasn't.
that.
I was not surprised at all. I was
didn't
listening.
expect that.
I did.
I had the thought immediately, of course, when he set it up just like that.
I figured it was going to be.
We were told to be wary about what we offered. And he said, give me something precious. And he's a dude made out of bones. I don't know where else there was to go when you're like, hey, my ex-wife that's trying to murder us. I mean, I used to love her.
I mean, on a meta level, this is a very pragmatic way of dealing with this, because not only have you gotten in the party moving forward, but you've also eliminated the major antagonist. So on a meta level, great call. On an individual level, god damn, man. Yeah, way to rip your own heart out.
Rip your own heart out.
See, I thought I was giving up the memory of someone I loved. Legitimately, is what I thought. I don't want to derail this too much. Welcome back, storyteller. But I thought I was giving up the memory. I did not think that I was giving up the person themselves. And I was like, okay, I think Elwyn can live with having his mind wiped. It may help him move on a little bit easier.
What do you think, Peter Parker?
May be more lonely.
That sounds like a positive. Does that sound like what this guy would be doing?
There is a little glimmer of hope for Elwyn, right? Like he is ever the optimist in some ways, even as angry as he's been for the past couple of rounds. So, but
fair. I mean, to be fair, the idea of positive destruction is what the worm is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a purifying destruction that clears away things that are, wrong. So there is a possibility for a worm spirit that isn't necessarily malevolent.
All right, here we go, guys. We're coming back in here. And how's everyone doing? It was an emotional scene, and my wife needed me at the inopportune time. She needed a tongue, so I had to go help her. But we're back. Thank you for the break. I hope everyone's stretched out. Got a little drink, stretched their toes, stretched their legs, stretched their arms. We're back, and we're gonna finish to the end now. All right. So where we left off, the ground around you begins to ripple, not with motion, but with moments. The wind halts mid-gust. The moonlight fractures like a broken mirror held in place. The cold deepens, not with temperature, but with age. From the heart of the prairie, the air bends inward. Reality sucked through a spiral wound. Something emerges, not from the umbra, but from the error in between. A serpent unfurls, impossibly long, its body made of rotating vertebrae wrapped in mechanical cogs and vine-strung roots. Along its length, eyes blink open like buds in spring, glancing in all directions and none. Its 3 heads split from a single stalk. One, rotting jaw unhinged, leaking black ichor that burns time itself. One, perfect and glass smooth, whispering an exact meter, calibrating your breath. One, flowering and pulsing, filled with shifting colors of frantic creativity, blooming and writing in the same heartbeat, wilting in the same heartbeat. The thing doesn't roar, it doesn't shriek. It clicks, pulses, stutters. It exists wrong. And now that you see it, so do you. It rears. It seems to know exactly that you're in the tree line and comes crashing towards you. What do you do? You've got at least 10 seconds before it's on you. What do you do?
Well then, I'm just checking something. Real quick.
Are we still technically in the Umbra?
No.
We're back in the real world?
You're back in the real world. Well,
That does not appear to stop this thing from coming at us.
Exactly. It's kind of hard to tell in this
I was
situation.
just wanting a little clarification as to where we currently existed.
I see. I don't. So the rite of abjuration normally kicks a spirit out of an object. Is there any chance I could use it to to punt this?
A right takes an entire scene, and you would be at a negative. You would be at a -2 to attempt to use it. Now you could do it. The rest of the people will just have to fight it off while you're attempting to write. So it is possible to do it.
Right. Then it's probably best if I just try and banish this thing.
Okay, so we're gonna start. So you're gonna attempt to banish. Nerdwire, what are you going to do?
I shift to Krenos.
You shift to Krenos. You are in the Krenos form. Wildwood, what do you do?
The way there's been like a rhythm and time flowing, it seems like this is part of the clockwork stuff we've been dealing with. Can I use a turn to try to just perceive that if it has any kind of rhythm or there's any kind of time slipping happening, pattern to it?
You're gonna take a beat.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you can take a beat. Absolutely.
Oh, would I be? My cat's trying to knock everything off my desk currently, as the cats do. What would I need to roll for trying to?
You don't need to. You don't need to roll anything. You can hold your action, and try to find some sense in all of this.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, Tindy, Shadowheart, what are you going to do?
Hey, another.
So I presume that me and Moonpetal have been walking side by side together this whole time. So we're still, she's like still just like right here.
Yes.
In my periphery, can I see a reaction from her?
She's head down, pawing at the ground, bracing herself to fight.
Battle mode again.
Battle mode, yep.
Okay, so seeing that Moonpetal seems to believe this is go time, I will shift into Hispo.
Okay. All right, so roll your rage check to shift into Hispo, and you lose a rage. All right, Wandering Star, you're attempting to banish this, but you can only banish something that is possessing something. This is not possessing anything.
I believe the system notes that it can also just send something back into the
Yes, it could, but it is not to where you are just yet. So, and the effect is leaking. So it's where it is. The gauntlet is gone. So you would just be sending it back to where you are. Yes.
Then, in the event that it's partially in the Umbra, it just forces it to leave the scene.
Yes. So you. Yep. Glory versus. So it's a glory versus power test. So it's your
glory plus resolve.
Yep. Your resolve plus glory versus its power.
Yes. If nothing else, this will give us a good idea of how dangerous this thing is.
Yes, it will.
So first things first. I got to roll a rage die.
All right. Keep the rage. Yep. What form are you in?
I will actually. You're right. I need to shift to Glabro.
You need to shift to Glabro for. Then you'll take a -2 to your roll to do it in the same turn.
Fair enough. I
So
lose the rage.
Lose the rage.
If he'd have had that information prior, would he have not shifted prior?
This is his whole turn. This is his whole turn. This is turn
Okay.
1.
Oh, we're still on turn.
We're
1.
still
We
on
just
turn
went back
1.
to the top
Exactly.
to describe. Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to be sure.
Gotcha. And I'll spend a willpower point to reroll those 3.
Okay.
Because I'm going to need every success I can get.
Oh! Every die was a success.
And so you got 5 successes?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
All right, it got a critical. So,
this thing's
it's a power 10 spirit.
Right. This is going to be a problem.
All right. So you're taking a beat. You went to Krenos. Is that the only you're attacking, I take it as well, that you're in Krenos. And you're attacking, you're in Hispo, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're just like taking a beat and being like, what the fuck? Okay. Getting used to what's going on. I got you. Remember, this is a spirit. It shares its health track with its willpower track. All right. So Elwyn, you want to attack? Go for it.
I am going to rush toward one of the 3 heads, the one that is closest to me. And as I do so, I am going to just try to drive my claws underneath its jaw, not necessarily in any particular place, because I imagine this thing is a big creature, right?
Yes.
Like it's big.
Yes.
So I'm just going under it, not calling out a pinpoint.
Which head are you going for?
Which one is closest to me?
Well, you're coming straight at it, so they're all
kind of
facing forward.
Right.
Yes.
And I've got a glass head. I've got a.
You got a kind of a rotting one, and you got one that's fungal bloom.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to strike the glass head.
All right. While you're attempting to strike the glass head, it's going to reach down with 2 of the heads and try to bite you and grab you by the arms.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. And then 4 more.
And I'm going to split the attack. And I'm going to have the other one attempt the tail try to lash out and hit the bard. What'd you get? You got a brutal failure. Yes, you did. Oh, that's really good.
That's good.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not going to split. He's just going to bite you. So that's good. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 successes. That's really good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, wouldn't it be?
No, you don't get. You only get.
Oh,
2.
Yeah, no, you don't get the bonus.
You don't get the
roll
bonus.
for it.
You just get the 2 successes. Yep.
I got you.
So you have 7 successes there. All right. That's really good. Let's hope there's my dice roller. No rage.
Oh.
Oh my god!
My.
Holy crap! 1, 2,
Did
3,
Elwyn
4,
die?
5, 6, 7, 8,
Dead.
9. But then there's 4 more on top of that. That's 13 successes minus your 7 is 6. 6 cut in half is 3. You take 3 superficial damage as one of them bites into your arm and just yanks you up.
Okay. That's not bad.
Shadowheart.
Yeah.
He shoots you. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, one of the heads is a gun.
One of the heads has a gun.
It's kryptonite.
It's a very common form of kryptonite.
That's true. That's a fair point. Most living things kryptonite.
It just bit. It didn't grip, right?
No, it just bit you. Yes, it did not grip you. It bit you with the rotten arm, the rotten head, and it stinks, and you got black bile in your blood now.
Great.
Yeah.
The eyes.
We still have Orin, Morwen, and Orion here, right?
You don't see them right now.
Okay, so they were actually in the sky.
Yeah.
I can't do anything with them right now.
That's okay. I was double checking.
Okay, so I guess I am going to having had seen what just happened, hoping that I can learn from the mistakes of Elwyn. I'm going to try to come
Mistakes.
Up with
I did nothing. I had a great roll. I did the right thing. Do not phrase this as a mistake.
Yes, this was not a mistake. This is just this thing being way too powerful.
I just mean like it.
That was plural. She hit you with the plural on that.
Yeah, the other heads, and it didn't work out well, and I'm going to attempt to run and behind it and jump on the back of it.
All right, give me
of the glass head.
Oh.
And bite it back there, as opposed to head on.
Give me a strength plus brawl check.
Okay. So I'm only very minimally angry.
You gave yourself another rage die, Alwyn, by the way, for taking the first damage in combat.
Okay.
Make sure
and someone's coming to your rescue here in a second.
Gambit of emotions. Roller coaster of emotions you've had tonight. That rage.
Yeah. He's really been feeling it lately.
I've been so mad the whole time.
2 successes, but it's going to attempt to dodge. It does not have as good a roll for a dodge as it does for an attack. It does not an excelling roll. So you got 2 successes. Exactly 2 successes. All right. Orion Long comes flying out. First shifts to Krinos. He's here. I got to do something with them. Shifts to Krinos. Goes into Krinos. Activates Razor Claws. Activates all his jank. Has to subtract 2 because he went to Krinos. No, there's only one thing to attack. No Spirit of the Fray.
Oh. Okay. I got as excited because you were excited about him
3
being
heads,
excited.
but
I got
one
excited.
being.
Yeah, it's true. There's 3 different targets. Could he not Spirit of the Fray 2 heads at once? He would do that, and he would ask you that too.
You're right. He would ask me that.
Oh man, I think what Storyteller found out was this creature was really powerful all of a sudden.
He fails at the Spirit of the Fray.
Dang.
Oh, dang.
It's not that bad. It's really not as powerful as you guys really think it is. It's really not that bad, but I can see you guys. Oh my god, I keep doing it again.
I mean, he always shreds people with it, so to be fair, we've only seen it just work.
Exactly.
He's never failed with it.
Oh.
Well, he got... So that's 8 success. That's 7... Yeah, 7 successes. The thing tries to dodge it down to 7 dice.
4.
4, so Haggard does 3. It doesn't cut it in half, so it does 3 damage. All right. So Haggard comes flying down in Krinos, comes down with double claws, scraping down the back, ripping eyes off the back of the beast, one after another as it comes flying down. Teeth and mouth gnashing at it, trying to bite it. All right. Orion and Morwen jump at it, but they get batted away by the tail. All right. Round 2. People who are in Krenos and who've been bitten get to go
I
first.
was just holding. I didn't do anything yet.
Okay. What do you want to do now that you've taken a beat? Sorry.
Did I perceive any kind of like time looping happening with it?
There's no time looping happening.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and do.
Shred that guitar.
Let's go Glabro.
Glabro.
And I'm going to also try to attack the glass head.
Okay.
I suppose. Yeah. Let's go with the glass head.
So you take a minus 2 to your attack because you're shifted and attacking the same turn.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep, which is why Haggard didn't have as many dice.
I am at 1 rage.
1 rage, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I just get no extra bonuses essentially.
Exactly. You just waited to see what everyone else was doing.
So it'll just be my dexterity and my brawl.
All right, and it'll try to dodge out of your way. It's down to 6 dice. And it, like a snake, coils around you and manages to slip as you try to land a knee on its back, attempting to cripple its leg. But only the crippler can cripple.
Bust that patella out.
Plus that patella out.
Snakes don't have knees, so we could really go to town on it.
Round 2. All right. Elwyn Bell, you get to go first because you're in Krenos.
I've spent a willpower, which I did. And I am going to go ahead and with my other arm that hasn't been immediately bitten, because I'm sure it hasn't. Actually, hold on one second. Is there a moon out, or is this broad daylight right now?
There's the moon out.
Okay, I need to howl at the moon.
Howl at the moon.
Oops, why am I sending this? Don't send that to anybody. I accidentally tried to send it. Okay, I lose a rage, but I heal one of my superficial.
Yes, okay.
Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another swing at this glass head that is in front of me. And it's coiled around ashes, correct?
No.
It's coiled around itself.
It coiled around itself to escape ashes.
Okay. So, I am going to attempt to make a strike on the head.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna roll for this. I got 5.
You got 5 on it. All right. So while you're attacking it, it's not even going to attempt to dodge you. It's going to make its a whole attack, and it's going after Morwen. All right. So it's making his full attack, full dice pool against Morwen, who's been jumping on it with Oren.
So is it just taking the 5 that I did to it?
Yeah, it's just taking the 5.
God.
Halved it, so.
Yeah. Whoa.
Morwen swings back at it with her dice.
Out of character, the bard. Morwen, Oren, and Orion were all characters that were played by real players. They just haven't been able to play for a while.
They've been burnt weekend at Bernie's the entire way.
Yep.
That is vaguely amusing to me.
Unfortunately, their schedules have, but they have to get involved in this. All right, Morwen takes quite a swipe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. She managed to take 5 of those off, taking 6. Not cut in half as she's hit by the fungal end, which does aggravated damage to 6 ag, knocking her to impaired immediately.
Oh my gosh, okay.
All right. Shadowheart.
I'm going again.
Go for it. If this thing hits hard, it can one shot you.
Yeah.
Whoa, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't dodge you. So you just do it because it went all in on Morwen.
Just soaks the damage still?
So it just soaks the damage up, takes 3 more. Oh, it's starting to get beat up. Very beat up, as it's starting to fall apart in many ways. The Bard. The banishment didn't work. What would you like to do?
Well, if I can't bind or banish you, he sighs and puts away his cane, then I'll just kick your ass up between your ears.
Love it.
And to continue with the jumping.
All right, do you shift to Krynos? Or to Glabro? Or you're already in Glabro?
I'm already in Glabro, and he Evero, so, and he doesn't have the rage to do Krynos, so.
All right.
That said, I could have the moon's out. Can I howl at the moon, shift to Krynos, and attack all in the same round?
You may do that, but you take a -2 to your attack roll.
I'll still take that. It's worth it for the
For the thematic purpose, yep.
Yes, and then he howls at the moon and takes on Trina.
So roll your 2 rage dice. All right, you lose 1 rage.
Yeah, keeps the wolf, but
Yep.
time to initiate the punching. This is with the -2 dice, so. Oh. All right, cool. I'm gonna re-roll 3 of those.
All right.
I've got willpower to still. Fair.
yeah, I don't blame you. Okay, there we go.
All right, so that's 5. So you
Nice reroll.
slam into him again.
Yeah,
So having the damage, round it up. So you do another 3 damage to him. You went for a bite.
Yes, he decides to go and start biting and ripping out its eyes along its flank.
All right, so you do 5 aggravated damage to it as it roars up. The snake heads roar out in pain. All right, Song of Ashes. What do you do? This thing is starting to. It's almost getting near its last legs.
I definitely dash in for attack. I won't have my -2 this round, so let's go for it. I still really 1 rage. That's right. All right, fair enough.
3.
Oh, we're definitely re-rolling 3 of those
Okay.
for certain.
5.
5. All right, and you went Krynos, correct? Did you bite or did you?
A Glabro.
Oh, you're Glabro, so you attacked the normal. All right, so
Yeah.
5 damage, cut in half, turns it to 3. It's still on its feet. It's not incapacitated yet. Top of round 3. This is the last round, but you guys have almost got it defeated. Elwyn Bell, this thing is going all in on you
Okay.
with all 3 heads. I'm going to give it a +3 to its attack.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, well, here we go.
Do you want to go all in on it?
Yep, I am.
You
going
get a
all
plus.
in.
You get a +2 to your attack then. If you go
Okay.
all in, yes.
Flash of attacks here.
You said +3?
Good rising music.
He gets a +3. You get a +2.
+2. Let me take
Yep.
off one of those, okay?
Oh, nice.
Spending a willpower though, and I'm going to re-roll 3 of those.
Do it.
Okay, so that's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Yep. 7 dice.
Come on, baby.
5.
5. Yes.
Nice.
As you come swinging down on it, going all out. Which head did you come crashing on? As they all 3 came biting on you.
The one in the center, and as I come down, crashing down on the center one, I am just ripping. I've driven my claws into each of the heads that are on the sides, and I'm just ripping down its neckline.
Yeah. All right, and as you pull and you exert enough pressure in your Krynos form, it snaps and you pull the head off the snake's body.
Yes. Yes.
That'll do.
I'm gonna howl. I'm gonna start howling. That was epic.
All right, as it begins to disintegrate and fade into spirit stuff, and on it you hear, "You will, you will, you will be ours." And as you notice, part of it wraps around, begins to wrap around Morwen, and begins to fade away. What do you do? Begins to fade away with Morwen's body. You have time.
Let's see. Well, Star's currently in Krenos, so go for the usual Krenos solution of kill. And try. Could I try and tear off the part of its body that's wrapped around Morwen?
You may try. You may attempt to. If you get a brutal failure, though, you do risk the possibility of harming her, and she is currently impaired with full aggravated damage. So a brutal failure could result in, well, no, it won't result in her end. She's not here. That would be terrible. Could result in further damage being done to her, with further weekending at Bernie's to have to do. But yeah, strength plus brawl.
Alright, well, I've got full 4 dice to this son of a
I
gun.
got an idea for a brutal failure if it happens.
I'm sure.
Alright, strength plus brawl.
The day that
4.
Zed doesn't have an idea for a brutal failure, you let me know.
And I'll willpower point for those 3.
Okay.
Because I have willpower for days.
Oh,
All right, you turn it into
Oh,
a
I got a
critical
crit.
success.
1,
As you
2, 3,
as you
4,
reach forward,
5,
you rip
6,
the
7.
remains of the snake off of Morwen's prone body and fling it backwards. As it flows backwards, her body shimmers back into phase with everyone else, and she does not get lost in the time stream.
Yes, and as he turns and roars at it, voice distorted by Krenos. You no more.
Very nice. And with that, folks, we're going to call the game.
Damn, that was epic. Holy shit. That was more intense than we normally deal with on many levels.
All right,
No kidding.
All right, guys, let's start from the beginning. We had a lot going on tonight. I thought you guys were going to get into a fight in scene 1. I thought for sure you were going to get into a fight with Dahwal and the preacher and their other buddy. I thought you were going to throw down on them.
Fire.
At the fire, yep.
He was.
This
That was
close.
super close.
You were super close. So,
Fortunately, you had a voice of reason.
all right, so we're going to start with me tonight. What I liked, what I didn't like. Best dressed, not best dressed, we're not LARPing.
it was you.
Best scene,
Actually, it's the bar.
best
Look
role
at
play. All right, yes,
I'm not dressed like that right
we
now.
used to do who was best dressed at the LARP, who had the best
I
costume.
believe you, yeah, for sure. You have to.
And you got XP based on if you were better dressed than other people.
Nice.
So, yeah. All right, so what I liked about game tonight. Well, what I didn't like about game was not having a full house. Not having all the players. That sucks, because I want to do stuff with them, but I can't. It wouldn't be right to do stuff with them. You don't do stuff without consent. That's just wrong. You remember that, people. Have consent.
Mm-hmm.
What I loved about game tonight, we got to do something a little bit different. It was a little differently paced. It was a 3-act structure tonight. Each act was completely directly led into the next act. They were all connected. I liked how it worked out. It worked out pretty well. Best scene tonight. I like the look on your face, on Elwin's face when he realized what was happening. When Ghost Bones was taking the thread of fate from him and cutting it. I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the singing. I enjoyed the singing tonight. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Song of Ashes. I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. Well, gosh, that was for night, and it was a lot of stuff they weren't used to, especially with the Umbra being, well, I was gonna say thin, but it was gone. The gauntlet was just completely gone. So that was pretty insane playing through all of that. And at the time Distorting went, that was also really cool, and to see how that played out. Again, every time the clock kind of entity has messed with us, it's been really interesting because it messes with things a lot. So that was good fun. And then of course Elwyn Nerdwire just insanely crushed it with that scene. So that was I think that everyone's gonna have to say that was one of the better moments of that. I did realize from like a standpoint of things I didn't like, I had my first iteration of my character with the guitar, which was something that I had like with me and access to a lot more. I thought the idea of piano was really fun in this setup, and it was for like a lot of the town stuff that we were stuck in for, gosh, we did like 3 weeks of, real time downtime actions stuck in that town. But now that we're out in the move, it's weird not having like an instrument to use for a lot of these battles in ways that I enjoy doing. So I've been just kind of fighting more, and I didn't expect that, and I didn't even think about that. Kind of stinks. And then also from my character's perspective, during the time rewinding, he had a fart go back in. That sucks. I don't want anyone to ever have to experience that. So yeah, that's not good. And we're just gonna pass it off right there.
Pass that off to Nerdwire Plays, aka Elwyn, who I can still kind of see a little bit of the makeup on today.
It should be gone. I've washed my face like 4 times, and like I was raw last night. For those who don't know, I had my sister, who is a makeup and hair artist, do makeup and do a Princess Peach inspired look for the charity because people donated for that, and I looked extremely snatched. Let me just say.
Hey, Nerdwire, post your link, because if he gets to 3,000 people, he's shaving his head.
Oh my God, I will. Hang on one moment. Let me.
That's why I'm bald. That's why Team Wildwood is bald. We went bald for charity. If he raises $3,000, he will go bald himself, and I kind of want to see that. I want to see what his misshapen head looks like.
Oh my gosh, so rude. But what I liked about tonight, legitimately, was the amount of just kind of this. While we were in battle. There was quite a lot of role play experience that was just like this weirdness that's surrounding us. I really enjoy that. You mentioned the 3 acts that kind of had led into each other very effectively. I would agree that story structure was awesome. Everything kind of leaned heavily into it. I don't know if Elwyn's on the right track with like feeling like these are the representations of Jerry Falk and Sister Beale and I can't even remember the third one, and Mayor Hayes from the future from our previous playthrough. But I think that is super cool. Kind of that analogy, whether it was intentional or not, feels really cool. What I didn't like, there's not really a good answer for what I didn't like. I had a genuine good time, even though like on my face it didn't look like I was having a good time at the time. I was doing my best to just submerge the smile from having an opportunity to like really act in that scene where I had my wife taken, and I liked that a lot too. And I know I'm saying, what I didn't like is I liked this. But and then as far as best roleplay, I really enjoyed the fact that the bard, who is not familiar with our crew at all and hasn't done any of this hardly in front of the people who come and watch normally on a week-to-week basis, was so willing to just jump out there and do the song, do the 2 songs, and they were very fitting for like not only his character but also Elwyn's character in a lot of ways, because again, like I said, he was very ingrained in his faith, and he gave that up, but he's like looking at this other werewolf and he's kind of being like, oh man, okay, wait, hold on, this guy is following these ideals still yet that are ingrained in him in a very different way than what I did, where I just kind of gave it up and moved on, and it's cool. That's where I'm at.
I want to, before I go on to Dindy, I do want to say thank you, Bard, for playing with us. This game would be a lot harder to run with just 3 people while we're in our scheduling conflict. So having you here has been great. So I want you to know I appreciate you.
Well, my pleasure.
Tindy Shadowheart, tell us your things.
Um, the things that I liked the most from my character standpoint tonight was I liked being able to have a couple of moments of syncing up with Elwyn. Him and I, we've often been at odds since I joined because I came in late, and so my character's constantly been like doing this catch up, and so he's been at a completely different place of understanding of things than what I have been, where I've really been back here in this wolf thing of like I'm just a wolf, and I don't know about these things and I don't understand. And so, being able to just have him be like, I'm going to walk with Shadowheart. And then me be like, I'm going to come to his aid in this fight.
Mhm.
So I liked being able to have that connection with him this go around. Um, I liked being able to try to use that intelligence that my character has that up until now she's not really been able to use. And because that's always been hard, right? Like I said, she's always doing this catch up, and then she's illiterate, so she can't even be like reading up on anything, and nobody really has time to explain anything to her. And even if they did, the odds that she would just like immediately by osmosis absorb this stuff, that's silly. So I've constantly been playing my character as if she has no clue what's going on. And so tonight I was able to be like, okay, look, I don't understand what's going on, but I'm telling y'all, th- the snake thing, those people, whatever the heck they were, I think they were the same thing, and I was able to take and feel a little bit of frustration as I wasn't like really sure that they were understanding what I meant or if they were listening. Um and so then I was like, y'all listen, I think it's the same thing. And so I enjoyed being able to take and get into a more slightly intellectual position with her. Um, didn't like. I mean, I don't know. I didn't get shot this week, so there was nothing really for me to get mad
Nowhere to be
about.
upset about the guns.
There were no guns for me to be angry about. No, it was pretty good. It was Zed, thank you. I mean, like every week you come up with like some really weird crap. I don't know what's going on inside your head, dude, but my goodness. And you do this multiple times a week in multiple different stories and you're coming up with all this weird crap. What the heck?
All right, the Bard.
Right. Well, in terms of what I liked, I enjoyed. Well, I did enjoy the weird Umbra stuff. I enjoyed having to figure out, okay, what are the rules of these spirits we're dealing with, and how to work around them. Then that was enjoyable. I did enjoy the fight because I, I ate towards the end in no small part because I think it's the first time I've ever
It
had
was.
Star actually try to hurt someone,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and and it allowed me to use a Dresden Files quote. So, the that was good. Enjoyed the opportunity is to show off a bit more of how Star interacts with the world, with that his discussion with the other three heads, and with some of his interactions with Elwind and about things. So things plus yes, singing was nice. Though a personal favorite was just telling Bone Snake Boy or E to get thee behind me and behind my pack. Because it's he's kind of integrated. As far as he's concerned, he's part of the pack now.
You're welcome, dude.
Now, even if
You're
temporarily.
always welcome.
But as for something I didn't like. The reference to things that happened previously in this, and the significance of that makes complete sense. Why my character wouldn't get that? Didn't like that. I kind of had to ask, like, okay, let's stop the session and do the flashback act real quick, so that I can get a vague idea of what exactly is going on and why this is so significant.
It was in character, though.
I mean, it was in character, absolutely. Really, out of character, it's like, hey, I did that. Other thing that I wasn't the biggest fan of, which has nothing to do with this session, was missing the downtimes this week because work.
We didn't. Well, you didn't miss any downtimes.
We didn't do any.
I didn't really have time for downtimes this week, and there weren't any that were really that appropriate for Werewolf because we were on the run. So we didn't do any. So you didn't miss them.
Okay, so that's good. I am looking forward to getting into those, especially if I can make one for Elwyn, because Star's been through what Elwyn's going through right now. So I think there's some opportunities for the two of them to have a very interesting conversation dynamic at some point, and downtime is probably going to be one of the best times for us to pull that off.
Absolutely. So, guys, we had a great time. We're not done yet.
I have one question.
Yep, go ahead.
What if we had went down the other path?
Oh, you probably could have gotten on the train and just gone back to New York.
No, don't tell us that. I don't want to know if future's yet to come.
You know what? This was more fun. It was absolutely the wrong decision for our characters to make, but stories are often made by characters making wrong.
There was no way, psychologically, you weren't going to take the right path. You were going to take the eastbound path, because I said don't take the right path. And I knew you guys were going to take the right path.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to take the right path.
For the
first time I was actually listening to you, and you were trying to deceive us.
I was trying to deceive you, yep.
Anyways, nonetheless, excellent session. I look forward to seeing you all either in downtimes, but if and when we get them, shoot me a ping to make sure I don't miss it, because I am actually off this Wednesday. And just give
5 XP for everybody.
Excellent. I was going to ask.
Yep, 5 experience points for everybody. Spend them wisely. We're going to be rating Your Mom. Descriptions are of the environment and characters are consistently rad. The 3X structure felt like a great mix of challenges. The Bard's monologues and songs completely caught me off guard. I love it. I thought Nerdwire was going to cry. I thought Saki was going to make me cry. Saki was great in chat all night.
Yeah,
Saki was awesome. So let me get this raid started. We're going to raid the only retroactivist on right now.
Really old.
Really old.
Wow.
We don't have any of those anymore.
We got rid of that.
Yeah, we did. We did. I forgot for a second.
Retroactively call them a retroactivist.
Exactly, retroactivists. Here we go. We're going to go see Your Mom, the retroactivist. All right, everyone, stick with me while we get this raid going. 3, 2. He's gonna love it. We're good to go, and we're out. Thank you, everybody. Peace.
Cheers.
Goodbye.